The following program is brought to you by Pizot Productions.
Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of the podcast that no one listens to. I am your host, Kevin Porter, here with a special guest this week, somebody who's been missing for the past 30 some odd episodes. Jessica, what's up? How you doing today?
How's it going?
Yeah, we've been missing you on here. I mean, one weekend you were like, "Yeah, man, I'll help you out. I'll get on there. You know, you won't have to rely solely upon yourself." And then you're gone.
It's a love-hate relationship.
30 weeks later, you're back.
Well, I made it. So
you made it back. You made
thankful.
it back. So I am thankful that you're on here because, hey man, we did a little bit of show prepping here, and we decided, hey, let's talk about our favorite TV show out there. Let's talk about Rick and Morty, man. You know, Rick and Morty it's a science fiction television sitcom that premiered on December 2nd, 2013 on Adult Swim. The series follows Rick, an alcoholic super scientist, and his easily distressed, chronically underachieving grandson Morty on their adventures to alternate dimensions. These adventures commonly cause trouble for Morty's family, who are often caught up in the mayhem. So, Jessica, first initial impression when I start talking about Rick and Morty.
When you first introduced Rick and Morty to me?
Sure, talk about your journey with this show.
Well, I'm not really into cartoons, so I'm not into Family Guy. I'm not into grown-up cartoons. And when you first told me about it,
you hate them. You like I watched South Park, and you like
I hate South Park. I hate South Park.
Turn it off.
So when you first told me you were watching a cartoon about a grown man and his grandson, I thought, okay, this is retarded. And then as we progressed and I actually watched an episode of it, I was like, this is freaking amazing. I really enjoy Rick and Morty. And that's pretty much the only reason why I agreed to do the podcast.
Because we talk about Rick and Morty.
Because I love Rick and Morty now.
Rick and Morty is quite possibly the best thing on television. It's just, you know, when you kind of get down to the nitty gritty, and if you're, a true, person that actually follows the series, it's frustrating when it comes to the creator and the production crew of this show, because it seems like everything is just it's held up. It's like season 3 took 2 years?
That is my biggest pet peeve, is that they don't have a regular schedule that they release their stuff.
It's not coming out yearly or anything
There's no rhyme to reason.
Yeah,
at all.
You hear about season 4 currently, and it's apparently up in the air at this point. You'd think something as popular as this and as much money as you could, probably be, making off, a popular series like this. You think that you'd be gung ho. This would be your number one project, but for some reason or another, man, I think it's a little too much boozing on their end or something. I don't know, man.
I don't know why they're dragging their feet, because we do not have cable or internet right now. As soon as they release the episodes, we're buying it, because it's just that.
We don't have TV, so it's we can't even watch it. So yeah, that's what we did with season 3. We bought the season on Amazon Video, and boom, we were getting it that Monday, so we'd always watch it Monday night.
Right.
Nah, man. Yeah, I've consumed a lot of animated television over the years, and I've watched The Simpsons ever since I was a child. Got introduced to South Park at a pretty young age. I'd like to credit South Park for how I've learned to talk in terms of dropping certain words here and there. But Rick and Morty definitely is, the first one that's come along since, I would say, definitely in my opinion, it's better than South Park, or not better than South Park, but better than Family Guy and American Dad, and I don't know. For a while I liked Family Guy, but it got overdone.
Family Guy's had its time.
It had its time, and yeah,
it's American Dad. I used to like American Dad, but then it kind of was okay, this is just kind of the same shit over and over.
I liked American Dad. I thought American Dad was a pretty
I
fun
liked
one.
it until they started like alluding to like father-daughter stuff.
Hey, but that's what
It was
drives the
just
people
like-
in. I mean,
it was
you
like,
gotta tune in
okay.
for that shit.
They took it a little too far for
Yeah.
me. I say that, but Rick and Morty, I don't know.
Yeah,
They
Rick
have
and
some
Morty.
questionable things
yeah, I
going
mean, you got
on.
that one episode where they're jumping through fucking dreams and shit, and Scary Terry makes an appearance. I think that's like the second episode, and just yeah, when they wind up in the dream of the teacher, and he's got like some sort of sub fetish for summer and shit, and like there's just it's yeah. There's definitely some questionable things off coming off that as well.
Or when Morty picks up that robot.
Oh, that episode is classic. I love that episode so much.
Oh, wow.
The best part is when they're just sitting there eating breakfast, and there's just like bang, 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 bang. He's banging that fucking robot, and then then he comes.
Sex bot.
Yeah, Summer's like, how long are we gonna allow this? We're like, oh, it's a natural teenager. It's okay, and then he comes down and gets Rick and shit. And then they're like, the second we hear any sort of noise, we go up there and stop it. And then he starts fucking around with it. And then Beth comes up and is like, that's inappropriate. What the fuck? And they're just
they're trying to catch it.
They're trying. Obviously, they weren't tag teaming the fucking
the
sex robot. So
I loved it when he was like trying to buy it. He's like, what about that over there, Rick? That looks really interesting, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
oh,
right.
Jeez, Rick.
Right? He's like, and throw the sex bot in for my grandson.
Yeah, because he knows exactly what it is. That's it's definitely a fun episode, man. But yeah, I figured we could take some time and maybe like rank our favorite episodes out of the 3 seasons. I mean, so I'll let you
rank them. The 3rd season's definitely my favorite season. I don't know. Are we doing like 5 to 4?
I've got a list right here of all of the episodes. So we had, I think, the one episode out of season 3 that we really, really enjoyed was the Citadel episode. That to me was my favorite episode of season 3.
Me too. That episode was so in depth. There was so much. Even now, I go back and watch it, and there's so much going on in that one. The evil Morty that pops up at the end, all the different Ricks.
That episode really cracked me up the whole fucking time.
I loved how they ended it with Simple Rick. It was like almost like a commercial of his life. It was pretty jacked up though, but I love that one because I love seeing all the like different kind of Ricks that were there. I forget which one it's called, but it's like the C1, C2, or C3, and like they get worse. The Ricks get worse as they go along. Yeah,
I think going back like throughout the whole seasons and whatnot, like one of my favorite episodes was it was entitled "The Meeseeks and Destroy." Is where the Meeseeks, Mr. Meeseeks were.
Mr. Meeseeks.
Mine, Mr. Meeseeks. So Mr. Meeseeks and Destroy is the 5th episode of the 1st season of Rick and Morty. It premiered on Adult Swim on January 20th, 2014. Pretty much going into that episode, man, the plot basically is that after a particularly traumatic adventure, Morty wants to quit all future escapades, okay? So Morty strikes a bet with Rick to lead his own adventure. So agreeing to cease to complaining if he fails, and if Rick agrees to letting Morty choose every 10th adventure if he does succeed. So when the rest of the Smiths family asks Rick for a solution to several mundane problems, he gives the family a Meeseeks box. Okay, so a Meeseeks box is a gadget capable of causing helpful beings named Mr. Meeseeks to materialize each time its button is pushed. These identical and short-lived creatures exist only to exist the First Order. They are given. Once it is completed, they vanish. Rick warns the family, though, to keep their tasks simple. So in that episode, I mean, it was just, of course, Jerry being the complete jerk that he fucking is. He's the one, he's like, oh, you guys go off and like, oh, you know, Beth's all like fucking wants to better herself as a person, and then Summer wants to be more popular. I think was
Her one.
her one for that. And then yeah, Jerry's like, oh, I need take a
2 seconds off my swing.
yeah,
or
stroke
something.
off my golf game, and that proves to be the hardest. And you know,
Which you think would be the easiest, but it causes the Mises to go crazy and basically threaten to kill each other.
yeah, so pretty much, yeah, all the Meeseeks blame each other for their predicament and argue over the correct solution on how to actually fix it. So, because they keep producing all the different Meeseeks, and so they basically none of them can die until they fulfill the task. So, before concluding that, the only way to fulfill their mission. So basically, they converge on a restaurant that Jerry and Beth are at, because you know, they have to make sure that fucking Jerry gets his golf swing down, and fucking yeah, they end up and luckily at the end Jerry fucking does it and saves the day and has a good moment, you know, as his
wife
character.
had to do it for him though.
Yeah, because you know, Jerry had to use a severed piece of shelving and a tomato to prove that his swing had improved, and delighted the Meeseeks all around to cease and exist, with the exception of one stickler who only vanishes when he sees Jerry's short game has also improved. So that was always one of my favorite episodes, was the Mr. Meeseeks episode.
I know you love that little. I'm Mr. Mises. It's like your text, isn't it? Your text tone. I'm Mr. Mises.
It is my text tone. It is my text tone for sure. So definitely, you know, and I mean, I think the next one that we want to talk about is definitely like one of the better, one of the more favorable episodes out of all of them, which
lasting
was
impression.
Pickle Rick, ladies and gentlemen. So Pickle Rick was the third episode for the third season of Adult Swim's animated television series Rick and Morty. Basically, this one premiered back on August the 6th of 2017, so just last year, okay? So Pickle Rick, basically Rick turns himself into a pickle to avoid family therapy, okay? So, but Beth is able to confiscate his antidote, and the others go to therapy. So meanwhile, Rick falls into a sewer as Pickle Rick and constructs mechanisms from dead animals to survive. So basically, he escapes into a highly secured building where he kills the agents inside in order to leave. He goes to the therapy session and later receives the antidote syringe from Beth. So go ahead and give me your first reaction upon seeing Pickle Rick, man.
Pickle Rick, when I first saw it, was my ultimate favorite. I still love it, but the Citadel is my ultimate favorite show, but Pickle Rick is the second episode that's my favorite. It's just, to me, it's absolutely just hilarious how he turns himself into a pickle. I mean, how could you not? How could you?
At the beginning of the episode, they're all like, oh, you know, what is that? Just a piece of dog shit? You know, it's just like they were making fun of themselves, you know, because it's just like, what are you going to do? Pickle Rick?
Pickle Rick. Well, I like when he was like, hey, Morty, come here. Morty. He was like, turn the pickle over, Morty. He was like, oh, God, geez, Rick. Is it going to turn into a penis or something?
Yeah, like a space penis.
A space penis. And then he turns him over and he's like, I'm a pickle. It was just like, oh my God, I loved it. And then he has to like roll himself into the gutter and kill like bugs and take pieces of them and then fight these rats.
Right.
And then goes into the wrong building, you know, just so happens to go into the wrong building with high security and has to fight his way out.
I know, and yeah, the sub story with what was the name of the one character he comes into contact with? It's Danny Trejo's character, like the killer guy.
I can't remember his name, but his daughter's like, they think that he has his daughter captive.
Yeah, but she's really dead and shit. And like, yeah, that shit's fucking great, dude. That shit is straight up fucking. I love that episode so much. That's a really good episode.
It was a good episode. And then I love how the end, when he finally shows up to therapy, the therapist completely like nails him.
Yeah, that shit was really good.
Like she just nails him and he just kind of was like, he just sits there for a second.
I like the ending part when him and Beth end up going to the bar. I thought that was
They
really
completely
good. And
ignore the kids.
they Rick, Morty and fucking Summer, they just totally get ignored and shit. So
And they're like, we like therapy, and he's like, he completely just ignored him. It was hilarious.
yeah, that shit was great. Yeah, my favorite. We were talking about like how it took 2 years between season 2 and season 3. I really enjoyed the cliffhanger that they left us on.
This is one song.
Yeah, well, going into that, so the season finale episode was entitled "The Wedding Squanchers."
Oh, that's right.
Basically, this puts it in perspective of when Rick and Morty season 2 ended was October 4th of 2015. Basically, on this episode, after Rick receives a wedding invitation from Bird Person, which Bird Person, he's a fucking badass character. Okay?
He's badass.
I really enjoy just like when because earlier in season 2, when Morty, there's an episode where Morty ends up like it was the episode where they have the sing off, like I'm Swifty or what?
Yeah. So Swifty.
I'm Swifty or what? And fucking yeah, it's like show me what you got. That's what it is. Yeah,
it's like a Galaxy TV show.
Yeah,
almost. They put like Earth on like a Galaxy show that they have to show their best singing competition.
And then Morty runs away from Rick and Ice-T or whatever, and he ends up on Bird Person's planet, I remember. And then like that one chick that Bird Person had hooked up with at the season 1 finale, because they did the party episode on that one. They're together, and like Bird Person's like, oh, you can eat some of this, da 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 da. And then she comes in the room, she's like, yeah, you know what I'm eating. And like Bird Person tries to like stop her. He's like, she like it's censored on TV, but on the we had the Blu-ray on it, so it's uncensored. She's all like fucking bird dick and shit. Like I thought that like that part cracked me up so fucking bad. So basically, those two are getting married. It's described as an intergalactic parcel delivery is how the invitation was sent. So Jerry is actually accidentally sent back to them using that same service to the wedding destination. Because at first, remember, Rick didn't want to fucking go because Rick just blowing him off. He just did not want to go to it. But now they got to go retrieve Jerry, so now they're forced to go. So he's forced to attend his best friend's wedding on this distant planet. Okay, so Squanch comes along with the rest of the family, and Squanchy, like he gets down. Squanch gets down, Jessica.
He gets down.
He totally gets down. So he comes along with the rest of the family, despite Rick's objections during the reception. Bird Person's bride, Tammy, it's Tammy, and they even have her last name listed on here. It's a Guterman. I've never paid that.
I didn't realize they even mentioned her last name.
Yeah, so she basically in the episode she reveals herself to be an agent of the Galactic Federation. Basically, Tammy kills Bird Person and has numerous agents attack the wedding guests. So Rick is able to get his family out of the wedding safely, but they're not able to return back to Earth as the Federation would be searching for them there. So this is kind of like where we get left off. They end up on that one small planet. And, Rick basically, Jerry's basically like, fuck you, Rick. Like, you fucking screw us over. Da-da-da-da-da.
It's a shitty little planet.
Yeah, and then, like, Rick that basically does the right fucking thing and ends up fucking
getting caught.
Yeah, ends up taking himself and getting him fucking out of that shit, so. But yeah, so, I mean, so basically he turns himself in at the end of season 2. So we're left on the cliffhanger of him finally getting caught by the Galactic fucking Federation. And this, then it goes into season 3, which fucking kudos to, the creators, for all the shit that they get, for being, very slow in terms of the production of these seasons. They definitely did drop the April Fools, dropping episode 1 of season 3 on April Fool's Day last year. That was pretty freaking sweet. So that episode was actually entitled The Rick Shank Redemption. It's a very clever title. Basically, it was the first episode in season 3. It premiered on April 1st, 2007. It was watched in over 676,000 American households, Jessica. That's over 500,000 people watching this one episode. So basically, the plot is on this, during Rick's incarceration, the Galactic Federation has colonized Earth, and the Smith family attempts to cope with this, with Rick's absence now. So basically, Summer is being completely fucking rebellious in this situation. Does not want to admit that Rick is gone forever and everything, and she's pissed off at the family because they're all kind of just hey, life's a little bit better now. Like Jerry's got a job that he's actually decent at, and he's getting promotions and shit. And
yeah, but they're popping a bunch of pills.
I know they're popping a bunch of pills and shit. So they're, I mean,
life's better because they're popping pills.
That's America in a nutshell at this point, man. So I mean, that's a very good point there. So
I was surprised in that episode that instead of Morty standing up for Rick, it was the sister who was convinced that he was in the right, trying to help them out, and she was trying to find him and trying to get to him, and it was Morty that was trying to talk her out of it, which I guess it makes sense because Morty's been through a lot more crap than the sister has. Right.
And then you get the whole fucking Mulan fucking sauce, Szechuan sauce.
I was hoping that they were gonna bring back the Szechuan sauce,
but they never did, Jessica. They never brought it back. They only brought it back like on a limited terms. They never met the demand for it.
They never met the demand. I just thought there was such an uproar over it that they would I don't know, at least attempt to bring it back. I guess McDonald's even released a statement that they were not going to bring back the Szechuan sauce.
They're just like, yeah, we don't let fucking TV culture fucking dictate our fucking sauces.
One episode I wanted to talk about was, I don't know if you remember it, but the detox, where they went through
that was a really good one. Yeah,
stressful thing, and the episode starts with Morty they're both like, oh my god, how did we survive that? And so Rick says, let's go somewhere, and he takes him basically to a spa, and they go into this machine that completely relaxes them. Well, what happens when they go in the machine is that it detoxes basically all their bad. So what happens is when they leave the machine, they don't realize, but their bad qualities have been detoxed into the machine.
Oh, that's quite possibly one of my favorite episodes, dude. And then Rick's just piece of shit side is just so fucking smart. He's just, oh my gosh, and he just sends him the messages.
They're like, we're coming for you, bitch.
Yeah.
And then Morty's completely chill and cool and popular.
He becomes the coolest guy around. Yeah.
The coolest guy around, and he doesn't want to get his detox side back.
He finally hooks up with Jessica, and he's within 30 seconds, you're pretty fucking stupid. No.
Right, and moves on.
Yeah.
But it's funny that it's the good Rick, because he got rid of all the bad Rick.
He feels accountable to himself.
He feels accountable to himself, so he's actually trying to reconnect with himself.
Yeah.
It was a really good it was a
really good episode.
How they put it together and made it, I don't know, I liked also the bad Rick. His weakness, one of the things that he got rid of was the fact that he loves, I don't know, I wouldn't say love, but he likes Morty a lot, and that was his weakness.
Yeah, I think that is quite possibly one of my more favorite episodes for sure.
Okay, and my next favorite episode was when they did the Morty mind blowers.
Which one was that?
When there was Morty had a bad memory, and he took his memory from him. And he takes him into this room where there's hundreds of vials on the wall, and
it's what they did for, instead of the intergalactic TV. That's what they put together as a cut up scene, flashback scene.
So all of these are horrible memories that Rick just took.
He took them away from fucking Morty and shit. Yeah.
And they did these Morty mind blowers, and somehow they got, I forget the episode, but somehow they got amnesia and didn't remember who they were, and they started doing these mind blowers and got deep in this hole. And the sister had to come save them. And I liked when she was like, oh, this is a level 4. Right?
Yeah, so at the end, she's just fucking all chewing her bubble gum, not giving a shit.
This is a level 4. And gives him the shot or whatever she has to do, goes, sits, and waits for him. And they are like, why didn't you come get us, you bitch?
Yeah, because at the end there was like, fucking, fuck you, Summer, fucking motherfucking bitch. Like,
and she
Yeah.
just saved their ass.
yeah, she just acts like it's fucking nothing, basically.
Do you know what? I want to watch that tonight. We've got to watch the Morty Wine Blowers tonight.
We can watch that one.
Let's watch that
We can
one.
definitely watch that one.
Because that one's a really good one.
Yeah, man. Another fun one. Speaking of like, because each season they did the intergalactic TV, and the first one they did was called Rixty Minutes, and that one premiered back on March 17th of 2014, and basically, that one more or less Rick expresses his disgust for the quality of modern television, so he replaces the Smiths family normal cable box with a device that allows them to watch different shows across infinite realities. Yeah, that's what it is. Infinite realities and shit. So each of the television's programs have strange quirks that vary from subtle to blatantly obvious, such as a detective show where the protagonist has baby legs. Oh yeah, fucking baby legs. Baby legs is fucking, baby legs. I'm just normal regular legs and shit. That shit was funny. Yeah, no, I
Is that
enjoy
the ants in my eye?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure like it seems like they just like would record them just talking,
Yeah, so
and then
I
they put the
watched-
animation to it. Yeah,
I watched a behind the scenes thing, and he was just spouting
And he's just
ideas
making
out.
shit, yeah.
And there's even, if you listen carefully through one of the things, you can hear him laughing. And that's because he just kind of threw it together and started laughing. So the commercial just kind of like laughs there for a second. And it's real.
Yeah.
Like it's him like
just goofing
goofing
on it,
off.
Yeah. Well, that's how, dude. Honestly, I mean, that's how you make the best shit. Is just fucking just making it up.
It's like
as you
that
go.
one episode where he gets really drunk. Rick gets really drunk and doesn't remember what he did when they were with the
like the Saw episode.
yeah.
Yeah, well, the parody of Saw.
The parody
yeah.
of Saw.
Yeah,
Well, in real life,
that shit was funny.
he was in the studio and they were giving him like shots of tequila, trying to get him as drunk as possible to do those scenes.
That's pretty.
So
odd.
when you
that's
watch
some method
that,
acting right there,
right?
man.
When you watch that, he really is like trashed going through it. That's definitely the reason why I really enjoy Rick and Morty, is because they go in depth with each episodes that comes out. It's very, you can continue to watch it and pick up on more and more things.
Right.
I don't know. It's really entertaining.
Man. No, I think so, man. I think it's a good way to end it, Jessica.
That's a good way to end it.
A good way to end
It's
it.
a great show. You gotta go watch Rick and
You gotta
Morty.
go
If
fucking
you have
watch
not
it.
seen Rick and Morty, you need to see Rick and Morty.
So, I don't know, man. Well, so out of all the episodes, which is your one all-time favorite?
I think the Citadel. I really love seeing all the different Ricks, the poor Ricks, the rich Ricks, and then all the different Mortys, and I just really liked how they ended it, how there's an evil Morty out there somewhere. I'm hoping that the evil Morty pops up later.
Right, and comes down the road and shit.
I would love to see where the Rick that we're used to has to go and take the evil Morty out because he's like ruling the Citadel.
I like the ending of that episode, how they just come back and they're like, oh, I wonder what happened to that stupid Citadel thing. It's like, they're just like, fucking at the beginning of the episode. They're just like, fuck it, whatever. You know, I'm gonna agree with you, honestly. I'm gonna say that's my favorite episode, too. Because that's, I mean, obviously there's like, so many funny fucking episodes, but that on so many different levels was just such a great fucking.
It was a great one.
That was really good.
And I'm, like I said, I'm really hoping they create another episode where like Morty completely takes over the Citadel, and the Rick has to go in there and like set it straight and kill the evil Morty.
Dude, they have
they
to
could
be,
do so much
dude.
with that. That they could do so much with that.
Yeah, no, you could do so much with that shit, man. Fucking like Rick, like actual Rick, actual Rick has to
save the Citadel after he just got done destroying.
That's badass, yeah, dude.
So,
that'd be fucking badass, dude. Yeah,
they could do so much with that. I hope they do go back and retouch on season 4.
Dude, for sure. Dan Harmon, get your shit together, bro. Make a fucking we should be hearing about season 4 by now.
I know.
It should be coming out like it's summer. It should be coming out in summer. Fuck you. Come on. Hurry up, guys.
Dying.
All right, man. So, yeah, this is the podcast that no one listens to. So, totally, I guess, we'll see you next time. I mean, people can find us places. They go to places on the internet. They can find us. They know where we're at.
They know where we're at.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the podcast that no one listens to. We will see you next time, America.